Hello guys, welcome to Open Techno. Today we have gone out to the street because we are going to test the latest novelty from Cospe, the Cospe 3 Ultra 2 Smartwatch, a super economical watch that includes all kinds of meters. From 170 activities, atmospheric pressure, altitude at which we find ourselves, also heart rate, a lot of things. And they have asked us to test the watch in all kinds of situations in this video, both submerging it in water, hitting it, to test the resistance. As you'll see during the unboxing, the box already indicates this to us. This area has a military certification, the 810H. It features Gorilla Glass for screen protection and water and dust resistance up to 5 atmospheres. We can submerge it and, well, a quality certification. Let's unbox the product and see what's included. This Cospe T3 Ultra 2. Well, here it emphasizes again the military certification that we have, and here we are already. As you can see, the watch currently comes without any strap. We can already see a bit of it. The design, the truth is that it has a considerable weight. It looks robust and resistant. At first glance, the buttons have a very good feel and nothing. Let's remove this little plastic and let's see what the watch is like. As you can see, a circular watch, well, quite typical. Let's see if I know how to turn it on, and simply by holding the button for a few seconds, we manage to turn it on. Well, we'll set it up later. Let's see that the back is also made of metal. The truth is that it all looks very sturdily built. It feels very good. And here we have the heart rate sensor to the left of the watch. We get this little box of accessories in which I hope we get a strap, and indeed we get a plastic strap, a strap made for sports activities, which is ultimately the watch's primary purpose. And here we're not going to get absolutely anything else. It's going to be under the watch where we're going to get the charging cable, which, look, you can see that it is in orange color, matching with that stripe that came on the watch. And we also get, well, a key to install a screen protector. Well, with these wipes to clean the screen with isopropyl alcohol, and a small instruction manual. I hope it's unnecessary since we've tested other watches from this brand on the channel before. Connecting it with the mobile app is easy. Just connect via Bluetooth or scan the quick response code for automatic syncing. The only thing you have to keep in mind is to give it, well, permissions, for example, to the location, to the notifications, so that we can control, well, all the music stuff. Or, for example, can it indicate the weather in the widgets? Now you see how it looks on the wrist. I'll show you some images and comment on technical features. For example, its dimensions are approximately 5 centimeters in diameter, which would be the entire sphere. We have 3 centimeters in height, and then, well, it would weigh 83 grams. The watch is made entirely of titanium, making it quite resistant with a Corning Gorilla Glass screen. 3 is also good. It's a certification from a few years ago, but for a watch and a tiny screen, it's good. It will protect the screen and make it more resistant. And then we would have interesting things like, for example, a 1.43-inch AMO LED screen, a 470 mAh battery that is going to give us a duration of 12 to 15 days. And in the case of using, for example, the watch with global positioning system quite intensively, well, in the mountains doing a route or whatever, it's going to last between 30 and 35 hours, that is more than 24 hours, more than a day. I think the duration is quite good. In addition, it charges through that magnetic connector that I showed you, which came in the box in an hour and a half completely. Now, very interesting things. We have a blood pressure meter, we have a heart rate meter, we have a blood oxygen meter. We also have a global positioning system sensor that positions us using 6 satellite systems and a Bluetooth connection. 5.3, which is the latest standard for connecting with our mobile. This lets us transfer data to mobile devices and receive calls, among other things. The strap is made of silicone and it will measure 6 types of movements. In terms of sports activity, we'll measure when we're walking, running, cycling, or using an elliptical bike. It also measures activities like using gym machines, such as the rowing machine, and periods of inactivity. In this case, it refers to all the issues of rest, of sleep measurement. With that said, let's test it, walk, run, and see the mentioned resistances: water military, 5 atmospheres, and full resistance. In short, let's test it, let's walk a bit, do some exercise, and see how it measures everything. The watch, well, we have done a 3-kilometer training that has included both walking and running. We've taken 3,500 steps, and now we'll check the app to see what it has recorded for us. We go here to the start, and well, we already see that it has been taking out our heart rate all the time. About 77 beats is the last measurement it just made a minute ago. Here we see the sleep and blood oxygen levels. The last measurement was at 6 in the afternoon, which had 98 blood pressure. It tells me that I'm not entirely well, but well, it's not bad, and let's see if it shows us here. The workouts, as you're seeing, we have done 2 workouts, one of walking outdoors, in which, well, we have taken 51 steps, 2 calories. Well, and then what we have done was start running outdoors. We have walked 3 kilometers and taken 3,523 steps during our workout. We would have to go from sport to sport. It's where we are going to be able to configure each of the activities. Is the watch capable of recording, in this case, in sports records? We are going to find all the records that we have made, like, for example, the one of walking outdoors, which has been very brief, and then the one of running outdoors. What have they been then? 257 kilometers with an average pulse of 90,170 kilocalories, 26 minutes. If we go in here, well, it gives us exactly the same data, and we can also see the route we have taken. Since the device itself, the smartwatch, has global positioning system, it saves the route we have taken. If we go into details, we can see exactly the same thing. It even measures our stride length, although I think this is set up with my height. It measures our steps per minute and draws a heart rate graph that records it at all times. Here you see that we ran for a while, we rested, walked quickly, we ran again, and finally we did a sprint at the end, which is that little peak you see. And well, here it gives us, well, some more data, the pace we have kept, the cadence of the steps, and well, the altitude that has practically not varied, except when we have gone up some bridge. To give you an idea, I told you earlier that the battery lasts from 12 to 15 days. In this half-hour training session, using global positioning system tracking and monitoring heart rate, blood pressure, and other metrics, only 1% of the battery was consumed. So, well, do you get an idea of what the tracking, well, the routine, and what would be the sleep at night? So, are we going to reach those 12-15 days that the KOSPET brand tells us? The watch now undergoes further tests beyond sports tracking to assess its performance in more challenging scenarios. We will immerse it in water for a few minutes to demonstrate its complete water resistance. It will remain unaffected. And we're going to see what happens when we drop it. We've thrown it into the water and onto the grass a few times. As you can see, it's wet but works perfectly. The screen goes back. Even with the water, it handles quite well. As you can see, it works quite well. It would be good to dry it, but with the screen already dry, the operation is correct. Let's see what happens if we submerge it for longer. As you can see, I'm getting it quite wet here in a little lake, which could simulate swimming with it in a pool. Let's see, I can't simulate diving here, but let's see how it works. I'm going to dry the screen a bit. Well, in fact, the screen has already dried itself. As you can see, the operation works perfectly, just like before. As you are seeing the watch, despite having thrown it, it is very good. That is, it has not suffered damage for absolutely nothing. It has just lost a little bit of paint here. But well, that's normal because having thrown it against a little rock at the beginning, well, it took a little hit and some of the paint came off. But well, you can see that the watch is super resistant. I just have a couple more things to tell you. One of them is, what is the interface like on this KOSPET? For all of those who haven't seen the previous videos we've made. From the top, we can pull down this bar in which we are going to have control over the phone for calls. We have the screen brightness, which we have 4 levels. Here we are going to have the battery marked. And this is used to empty the speaker of any type of water that may have entered after submerging it, for example, in a pool. It says to shake the watch, but I'm not going to do it now. If we scroll down, we are going to have widgets as shortcuts to music, to all the sports activity we have done today. The heart rate, we can take instant measurements at any time, add alarms, sleep, exercise records, and so on. We'll have many things here, including timers. If we move to the right, we will be able to see all the applications in case we don't have a widget on the other screen, for example. Well, hey, stages of sleep, Here we can access all the sleep information in a faster way. Alarms, calculator, flashlight, which in the end is to illuminate the screen. We can navigate the interface and search for the phone by pressing buttons. It will make the phone vibrate by sending a signal, allowing us to locate it. And other interesting things like, for example, the weather, which we can access directly from the watch. Lastly, I should mention that you will be able to customize the watch faces among some that are already included. For example, well, do you want to have a cooler design? It tells us the steps, the time, compass orientation, and a few more things. And then we could download more with the application from the internet. And lastly, we have the price. As for the price, the original price of the watch is 160 euros. Which is a bit higher than what we have seen in other sports watches. But this watch is mainly aimed at all those people who want a watch that has that global positioning system, that has the ability to measure, well, all the basic constants of the body, such as blood pressure, heart rate, blood oxygen. Also mention that it has global positioning system and is very durable. With those certifications that KOSPET tells us are military certifications,